You're broke because you convinced yourself it's okay. That's the poison, not the poverty, the acceptance of it. The world moved on. You're still making excuses. 2025. And you still haven't woken up. Still broke in 2025 because you've allowed weakness to become your identity. And I don't mean broken your wallet. I mean broken your mind, broken your soul, broken your habits, broken your energy. You wake up every morning and negotiate with the same comfort that's been killing your future for years. You lie to yourself. You pretend you're waiting for the right moment, the perfect plan, the clean path. But deep down, you know you're hiding. You know you're scared. You know you become addicted to average. And the worst part, you made peace with it. You've built a little prison of excuses and convinced yourself it's a palace of patience. You gave up the war before you even picked up the sword. And every day you stay in this state, soft, distracted, emotional. The world moves further ahead without you. There are 17-year-olds with zero college, zero backup plan, zero support system who are richer, sharper, and stronger than you because they made a choice to suffer now and live like kings later. You think they're lucky? No, they're relentless. They don't scroll for dopamine, they don't cry about motivation, and they don't waste weeks on doubt. They commit, they show up, even when it sucks, even when it's lonely, even when it's silent. While you're busy second-guessing yourself, they're building their empire. Brick by painful brick. And in the time it took you to mentally prepare, they've already dominated a space you didn't even have the balls to enter. The truth is, you don't hate being broke. You've learned to coexist with it. You've learned to silence the voice in your head that used to scream, I'm meant for more, and you replaced it with maybe next year. You scroll motivational videos like they're medicine, but refuse to swallow the truth. Motivation without action is masturbation. You're high on ambition and low on discipline. You become a walking contradiction. You want the world, but can't conquer your morning. You want millions, but flinch at discomfort. You want to be him, but you still move like a boy who fears rejection. You look around and you feel behind. But let me tell you something that should ignite you, not depress you. You're behind because the version of you that could have won is still inside you, buried under excuses, laziness, and the illusion of time and version. He's waiting. Every day you stall is a betrayal to him. Every hour wasted is an act of war against your own potential. You want to know what's worse than failure? Regret. You want to know what's heavier than discipline? The weight of being a spectator in your own life. But here's the part most people don't tell you. And this is the hope you've been starving for. You're one violent decision away from flipping everything. That's it. One brutal, honest, unbreakable commitment to change. Not a resolution, not a maybe. A violent, soul-shattering decision that you will become a different beast from this day forward. Not next week, not when you're ready, right now. You want hope? Here's your hope. Your life isn't finished. Your chances aren't gone, but the window is closing. You still have time, but you don't have forever. If you're still breathing, you got a shot. If your heart is still beating, the game isn't over. You just need to stop messing around. You need to rewire the narrative in your head that tells you you're tired, you're unlucky, you're not built for this. You are built for this. You just buried that side of you under years of comfort, distractions, and validation chasing. And now, you're either gonna wake him up or watch him die slowly while you live the rest of your life pretending you're okay. You think this is aggressive? You think this is harsh? Good. You need harsh, you need brutal, because if you could have changed with soft words, you would have done it years ago. What you need now is war, internal war. Burn the old version of you. Exile your comfort. Declare war on every habit that's betrayed you. Because the truth is this, nobody's coming to save you, and nobody's gonna cry at your funeral because you almost made it. They're only gonna remember if you did. And that legacy, that domination, starts when you decide enough is enough. I remember being broke, not just financially, mentally bankrupt. I was in a cold apartment, lights dim, zero food in the fridge, phone buzzing with bills and threats, and fake friends pretending to care. And I sat there shirtless, staring at the wall like a ghost. But I wasn't afraid of poverty. I was afraid of becoming nothing, of becoming just another man who almost had potential. That moment, it wasn't tragic, it was electric. Because in that silence, I heard the one voice I needed, the voice of war. The voice that said, no one's coming, no one gives a damn. If you want it, you build it. Alone, cold, focused. That night didn't break me, it rewired me. I realized comfort was a bigger enemy than failure ever was. Most people are so addicted to ease that they've forgotten how to feel fire. They want results without the suffering. They want rewards without the sacrifice. But let me tell you something. Every version of me that looked strong was forged in misery. I was built in the dark. No applause, no followers, no safety net, just pain, obsession, and insane self-respect. See, people look at me now and they think he was born with something they weren't. No, I just got tired of being weak. I got tired of walking through life like an NPC. You don't need a fairy tale to make it. You don't need luck. You need rage. You need vision. You need to look at your life, feel the disgust, and let that disgust turn into a decision. You think this is motivational talk? This is survival strategy. This is how real men are made. Not because I had a coach, not because someone told me to, because I knew that if I didn't kill the weakness in me, it would murder every dream I ever had. And that's what no one wants to accept. Weakness doesn't just hold you back. It kills you. Slowly, silently, while you smile, while you scroll, while you justify mediocrity behind pretty words like balance and self-love. There is no balance. There is no self-love in laziness. You're not moving forward. You're betraying yourself. Period. People love to talk about manifestation, vision boards, crystals, but they forget the core law of life. You only get what you fight for. You don't become a warrior reading quotes. You become a warrior because you buried your old self in the graveyard of excuses and chose to suffer until the new you emerged. No one sees the nights I went to bed with my ribs showing and my mind racing. No one sees the deals that failed, the betrayal, the days I wanted to scream but stayed in the ring, bloody, tired, alone but never quitting. And that's why I win, because I've refused to tap out. I wasn't born with anything special. I didn't get handouts. I wasn't chosen. I chose myself. That's the difference. I decided I would become dangerous. I decided I would outwork, outbleed, and outlast everyone who ever doubted me. I didn't ask for permission. I didn't wait for support. I became the weapon. And when you become the weapon, life bows down. When you stop needing saving, you start building empires. When you stop whining, you start winning. But let me make one thing clear. I'm not telling you this to impress you. I'm telling you because I know you felt that fire too. Deep inside, buried under fear, rejection, failure, you felt that glimpse of who you could be if you just stopped lying to yourself. That version is real. That version is breathing, punching, clawing to break through. But only you can unleash it. Only you can do what's required. No more talking, no more waiting. Decide right now. There's a reason I don't lose. And it's not because life got easier. It's because I became harder. I didn't hope for better days. I became the man who creates better days through chaos, through control, through sheer, unbreakable discipline. And you're next. If you're hearing this and your soul is shaking, your blood's heating, your chest is pounding, then good. That's your real self waking up. Don't put him back to sleep. There is a version of you that's dying in silence, screaming behind your smile, suffocating under your distractions. You scroll, you watch, you laugh, but deep down, you know you're supposed to be more. You were built for war, not comfort. And every time you run from the pain, you're letting the weak version of you win. You think time is your friend. Time is your executioner. It's killing you slowly. You wake up, scroll, waste another day, and the clock keeps ticking. You're not young forever. You're not special forever. One day, You look back and beg to be this hungry again, and you won't have the fire anymore. It'll be too late. You see the truth, but pretend you don't. You know your potential, but you numb it with nonsense. Deep down, you remember the kid who wanted to conquer the world, but now you play games. You chase dopamine, you avoid pain like it's poison. You wait for the right time like that clock owes you something. It doesn't. Every second you hesitate, a stronger man is outworking you. While you scroll, he builds. While you party, he plans. While you sleep, he sharpens. And soon he'll take everything you thought was yours. That life, that girl, that success. It will belong to the man who earned it, not the one who meant to. Fear isn't the enemy. Fear is the weapon. It's the warning sign. It's the whisper that says if you don't change now, you'll be nothing. Let that voice grow louder. Let it haunt you. Because nothing is scarier than looking in the mirror 10 years from now and seeing a man who knew better but chose average, chose comfort, chose sleep over legacy. I'd rather die chasing greatness than live as a forgotten nobody. That's not dramatic, that's real. You don't get forever. You get now, and if you keep waiting, you'll bury your dreams with your youth. People ask me what the scariest thing in life is. It's not failure, it's regret. It's the realization that you were the only one standing in your own way. That you had the drive, the talent, the ambition, but you kept delaying. You kept saying tomorrow until there were no tomorrows left. The scariest moment in life is when your mind is still sharp, but your body's too old to do anything about it. That's hell's. That's the price of comfort. You will never forgive yourself for wasting your prime years chasing pleasure instead of purpose. You think you'll rise when it's convenient. You think motivation will magically appear one morning and push you into greatness. That's a fantasy. You become powerful by doing what you hate. You grow by facing fear, not hiding from it. The world is full of men who could have been dangerous, but they let time rob them. They let softness drown them. They let society convince them that being average is noble. Be unstoppable. Be undeniable. Be so relentless that the universe has no choice but to bend to your will. There are men right now training harder than you, thinking faster than you, building bigger than you. And they're not better than you. They just decided, they made the choice you're still scared to make. They saw the same pain, same fear, same doubt, and they turned it into fire. What's your excuse? That you're tired? That no one supports you? That life's unfair? Life's not supposed to be fair. It's supposed to be conquered. You don't get points for surviving, you get respect for dominating. And domination begins the moment you stop negotiating with weakness. Listen to me. The longer you wait to become him, the harder it gets. Momentum is real. You either build it or lose it. Every day you skip, you dig a deeper grave for your potential. You don't need more time. You need more hunger, more disgust, more urgency. You need to wake up and look at yourself with ruthless honesty. Are you becoming the man you admire, or are you becoming the man you'll hate? That answer will determine your future. Not luck, not talent, not some external force. You. Right now, you will either be a story people tell or a warning people whisper. You will either be the man who showed them what's possible, or the man who proved that potential means nothing without action. And every day, you're choosing which one you become. Your future isn't waiting, it's watching. Watching who you decide to be in this moment. Watching if you'll finally break the chains of comfort, or if you'll fall again into the pit of the predictable, the ordinary, the forgettable. There's no in weeping, only legacy or obscurity. You ever sit in silence and feel that pressure in your chest? That haunting sense you're not doing enough? That's not anxiety. That's your soul begging for war. That's your potential screaming, suffocating under your excuses. It's not depression. It's the rage of a man who knows he's been playing small. And I'm telling you, listen to it. Don't silence it. Don't drown it out with TikTok or cheap dopamine. Let it consume you. Let it burn everything soft inside you and forge something unbreakable. You are not here to be calm. You are here to conquer. I don't care how bad your situation is. I don't care how many times you've been knocked down, you still have fight left. If you're breathing, you still got ammo. You're not done. You're not even close, but you need to make a decision. The world doesn't respect maybe. It respects men who move with intention, who walk with conviction, who act like they've already won because they've decided, they refuse to lose. That's the mindset, that's the aura. The moment you accept that weakness is a choice, everything changes. People always ask me, how do I stay motivated? You stay hungry. You stare at your life with disgust until it pushes you to move. You make your future so vivid in your mind that anything less becomes unbearable. You look at where you are and you feel the pressure, not to panic, but to explode, to grow, to sharpen, to evolve. You remind yourself that every man dies, but not every man lives. Not every man becomes something, most just fade. You're not meant to fade. You're meant to dominate. And domination doesn't come from wishing. It comes from doing the hard thing every day without permission or applause. You think you need motivation? No, you need discipline. Motivation fades. Discipline is what drags your ass out of bed when your body is begging for comfort. Discipline is what makes you train when your mind says rest. Discipline is the decision to win, made over and over again, no matter how you feel. Because feelings lie, results don't. And if you want to be a man people respect, you need to build results that slap reality in the face. People don't follow words, they follow power. And power is earned in pain. Stop waiting for the perfect plan. There's no perfect plan. There's only action or inaction. Winners move, losers overthink. While you're mapping out step 100, someone else is running through step 1 with blood in his teeth. And by the time you finish your plan, he's already at the finish line. That's the difference. You waste time convincing yourself you're not ready. He wastes nothing. He moves, he adapts, he becomes unstoppable by default. Because motion beats hesitation every single time. It's not about luck. It's about who's willing to suffer, who's willing to wake up early, eat clean, train like a monster, read like a scholar, work like a machine, and do it for years with no applause. Who's willing to look stupid, fail publicly, keep going while everyone laughs until one day nobody's laughing and they're all begging for your formula. That's what makes a man rise, not perfection. Relentless effort, ruthless commitment, and the balls to keep going when everything says stop.